I just saw the most pathetic, magnificent, absurd, transparent display of incompetent, almost certainly corrupt government maybe I've ever seen. This came yesterday, not from some foreign government. They came from our government. Came from the State Department. It turns out there's at least one actual journalist, one actual reporter left in Washington. The State Department is trying to ratchet up tensions with Russia over this issue of Ukraine. And they've been trying a number of different strategies to do this. And yesterday, the State Department and State Department spokesman, what's his name, Ned Price, made this claim that Russia is going to launch a false flag attack that will then give them a pretext to invade Ukraine. And the reporter in the room had a very simple question. Only one reporter. He said, "What is your evidence?" And the State Department couldn't answer.
What we know, Matt, is what I have just said, that they have engaged in this activity, in this planning activity. But let me because obviously this is not the first time we've made these reports public. You'll remember that just a few weeks ago.
I'm sorry, made what report public?
If you'll let me finish, I will tell you what report we made public. We told you a few weeks ago that we have information indicating Russia also has already prepositioned a group of operatives to conduct a false flag operation in eastern Ukraine. So that, Matt, to your question, is an action that Russia has already taken.
It's an action that you say that they have taken, but you have shown no evidence to confirm that. And I'm going to get to the next question here, which is, what is the evidence that they play? I mean, this is like crisis actors, really. This is like Alex Jones territory you're getting into now. What evidence do you have to support the idea that there is some propaganda film in the making?
Hold on, I've got to pause it there. It only gets better. The State Department only beclowns itself further. The reason I have to pause it, though, is the reporter did make a mistake. He said that the State Department is getting into Alex Jones territory. That is not true. Alex Jones is much more trustworthy than the State Department. Alex Jones has a much better record of predictions than the State Department, including the gay frogs. He was right about the gay frogs, okay? And it's not. I am damning with faint praise a little bit here, because the State Department and our federal bureaucracy and the liberal establishment has such a terrible record that the reporter is saying, "You're asking me to just take this on faith that you're telling me the truth, but you guys are incompetent and liars, so why am I supposed to believe you?"
Matt, this is derived from information known to the U.S. government, intelligence information that we have declassified. I think you know.
Okay, well, where is it? Where is this information?
It is intelligence information that we have declassified.
Well, where is it? Where's the declassified information?
I just delivered it.
No, you made a series of allegations and statements.
Would you like us to print out the topper? Because you will see a transcript of this briefing that you can print out for yourself.
That's not evidence, Ned. That's you saying it. That's not evidence. I'm sorry.
What would you like, Matt?
I would like to see some proof.
I'd like some proof. No, well, I'm giving it to you. Okay, let's try this again, Mr. State Department spokesman. What is the evidence that Russia is going to launch a false flag, and that's why we need to go send a zillion troops to Ukraine and start a war with Russia? What is the evidence that that's going to happen? Well, I just gave it to you. No, you made an allegation. Yeah, that's right. That's the evidence. I said so. Take my word for it. Take my word for it. Take my word for it. The people who have lied about and or screwed up every major foreign policy issue almost for my entire lifetime. The fall of the Berlin Wall was the last thing and actually they didn't get that right either. Reagan was right about the fall of the Berlin Wall, and the State Department and those people all tried to screw it up. So actually, never mind, forget that. These people have screwed up every major foreign policy issue, almost without exception, for as far back as I can even remember with historical memory. The people who told us that Saddam Hussein was making nukes, the people who told us that Kabul was not going to, forget about, we have to go back to ancient history with Saddam and the nukes. What about Kabul? What about the Afghanistan debacle from a year ago? We were told, less than a year ago, we were told that Kabul was not going to fall It was strong. The Afghan national government was great. It fell within weeks, with days. But trust us, we're right. Believe us. Give me a break, bro. Sorry. I'm not even denying that Vladimir Putin would stage a false flag. The guy's capable of doing just about anything. He's a former KGB agent who runs Russia and wants to greatly expand Russia's territory and has already invaded Russia's neighbors. So I'm not saying he wouldn't do it. Sure, of course he could do it. But I ain't just taking the State Department's word for it, or the rest of the federal blob. They've squandered their credibility. They don't have credibility anymore. And that's not my fault. It's not unpatriotic. It's not conspiratorial. It's not irrational not to believe these people after they've gotten everything wrong and lied to us for decades. You want us to go invade Ukraine, Ned Price? You want us to go start a war with Russia? Okay, fine. Show me the proof of these things, though. Don't just tell me to take your word for it. Because your word and $1.50 used to get you a cup of coffee. Now you need $3.50 to get a cup of coffee because of Joe Biden's inflation. Did you like that clip? I'm glad. Ring the bell, please. That way you'll get notifications. And then, because sometimes you don't get notifications, head on over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you get your audio podcasts. Subscribe to The Michael Knowles Show. Leave a 5-star review. We will see you next time.